Hello, good evening everyone, and welcome to round 2 of the Flat Out E-Racing DTM Championship. We are coming to you tonight live from Tokyo, Japan, and I'm pleased to say yet again I have on board our great co-commentator Skis, all the way from the USA. How are you doing, Skis?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. A whole lot more rested up for this weekend than I was last weekend.
You didn't stay up and watch the whole Daytona 24 hours then, the actual version rather than your sim one?
I actually had the privilege to be able to fall asleep during this one, so that was nice.
I can imagine that was a bit of a benefit, yeah. I think we're into very exciting racing tonight because there's just no room for error at all on this track, and I know your eyes were going big and wide watching a couple of the drivers during the free practice just before the start of the race.
Yeah, especially when I was looking through, I was trying to watch Dan, and one thing I noticed when Dan was coming out is, like we're going to see a lot today, is I think he went just over the limit and ran it right into the wall.
And the other thing is we've got quite significant tyre wear on tonight, so each lap is going to be that little bit different, and it looks at the moment like Loxtec is playing. I'm not quite sure what game he's playing there with Dan, but he's trying to definitely get a slipstream off him.
I was wondering the exact same thing. I don't know if he's trying to pressure him or if he's just being to where he knows he can time it up to get the best time he can down the straights.
Well, we do have some long straights here, so he may be trying to use it to his advantage. Just to run over what we're got for you tonight, we have 2 races. Qualifying has just started. It's a 10-minute session, and that's for race 1, and that will give us the grid layout for race 1. And then in the second race is a reverse grid based on the result of the first race, but with a twist, because the top 6 drivers will end up using a harder compound tyre as their first set, and the second race will be a 30-minute race compared to, sorry, the second race, yeah, I was correct, it will be a 30-minute race. The first race will be a 20-minute race, and that second race we've seen a few twists and turns on that one because people end up using different strategies. Some work, some don't, so it'll be interesting to see how that shakes out. But we will see in race 1 at least 1 pit stop, and depends whether they go for fuel saving or something like that to try and stretch it out and do something a little bit different in race 2.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a lot of different strategies going into this one, because as you said, tire wear is a big thing, and especially with this being a small track, passing is also going to be a big thing to see. When do they do it? Do they take the risk of catching a little bit of damage at the inside, getting a penalty? It's all going to matter. It's all going to take a split-second decision. But as we see here, it looks like Lasek, I'm excited to see what goes on here, him behind Dan for this lap, because it looks like he's got him a perfect gap to catch that slipstream.
And on his first time lap he has as well, because he's slotted through there nicely into 3rd place behind our usual top 2 contenders of Stormfly and Dan. So I think Dan's caught a penalty for a bit of impact on the wall there, so I think he's called it quits on that one and headed back to the pit. So Loxtec unfortunately has lost that slipstream.
Well, maybe he already got enough, but it looks like he's given some to who? Is that to Morris behind him?
Yeah, that's Timoris, yeah. So I'm just trying to see who else we've got, if anybody's. Noddy's mate was not very optimistic of his chances, and remember last time out we did show he had a good showing last time out, and we were quite impressed. I think he had a 4th in the first race, so and he was slotting through there into 8th. But Chili Bass has just popped in a quick one there.
Oh, he put in a quick one in practice when I got to watch it. Put him up to 2nd, and he popped right out and went right back to the pits. It looked like he knew what he was doing.
So, and we know from last week, Chili Bass was in there as well as part of that sort of fighting pack at the front. I had a bit of an incident on the 2nd race, which rather wrecked. No, was it last weekend? No, sorry, on Wednesday night he had a bit of a drama in the 2nd race. I get confused because we use the same tracks for both of our championships, the DTM on a Sunday night and the GT4 on a Wednesday night. So I'm trying to remember who was crashing into who at which particular lap.
Oh yeah, that makes it easier to do the same, but it also makes it confusing when you're talking about them.
And Lockstech up to 2nd.
And there he goes. Let's see how many more we get across the line.
Well, you called that one just right. He did get enough slipstream off Dan to improve his lap time there. And Chili Bass is on a hot one as well.
And it looks like Dan's starting his lap right here now. But yeah, I'm on to Chili Bass right now. He's on a flyer.
And here we go up to the line. What's he going to do? No, he's still in 4th.
Stays 4th.
Yeah, a little bit quicker, but it still stays 4th. But it is just so tight there at the top, isn't it?
Oh, it really is, and it looks like we got Select, who's he's our outlier. He's staying away from the pack, and so he looks like he's going to be the next one across the line right here. See if he can improve on his spot of 8th right now.
Do you think this is a bit of Monza going on here, where everybody's fighting over each other trying to get slipstream because of these long straights, and then eventually nobody gets it?
That's what I was about to say, and it could come back and hurt them because somebody might be slower than you in a certain corner. And if you're behind that person, well, you're going to lose time trying to slow up so you don't hit them.
So it's going to be who could be the bravest of the brave. But as you say, Select is, we're just watching him on screen at the moment. He's out there on his own. Surprisingly, he's a couple of seconds off the pace. Normally he's a little bit further up there, isn't he?
As we said, this is a tricky track. It's like when in the F1 season, you can plan that for every race except for Monaco because you just have to figure it out because it's so tight, the walls, anything can happen. And it's a very special track for a special kind of driving. So this is a very difficult one, which doesn't mean he's not the best racer. He could just be not the fastest in qualifying. He could be good when it comes to checkered flag. Green flag, my bad.
Oh, it's one or the other. Well, interesting, talking of slipstream, I've just hopped on with Stormfly and he's using Truno as a slipstreamer for him. And I'm not sure that's going to quite work out because I think he's a little bit too close because Stormfly at the moment is nearly half a second off Dan's pole time, which is surprising because normally Stormfly's just pulled out of the slipstream and rammed it straight into the wall, so I think that's going to be the end of that. Yeah, he's decided to go back to the pits.
Oh, Chili Bass across the line, stays in 5th.
But
he improved his time. Oh, you said Stormfly?
Yeah, he ended up back in the pits. He clipped the wall.
Happens.
He was getting a really good slipstream off Juno, but I think it was exactly what you were saying earlier. He was just that little bit too close, and the driver in front maybe caught him out, did something slightly different, and he swerved to go round him and just clattered the wall, and that was it.
And that's what Select just did coming out of that last turn. And that's when I was practicing this one last weekend when me and you were talking about it. The hardest turn that I noticed is that final turn to go into that straight to the first turn because you want to carry so much speed, but you don't realize it's almost a 90-degree left-hander.
And the other thing is you've got that pressure, haven't you? You've done a good lap, you can see your time's up, and you just don't want it to fritter away all on that last corner. So you pile it all in, and before you know it, you clattered the wall and it's all over.
Yeah, exactly. And it's, there's so many tough turns here that I think we're going to see the passing in the hair. Oh, and speaking of it, looks like Losek up into the wall right there. Well, let's see if it hurts his time at all.
He's He's just coming up. Exactly.
Oh, definitely does.
That was definitely a predicting what was about to happen. I think there was a definite case of that one there, but he's already got a good time in, and this will be his last lap. So they are all just about starting their last laps, and I can see a big queue of them coming across the start-finish line as well. So let me just have a look.
I'm trying to... There we go. We got Jan Bold coming across next. Followed by FOE.
Ah, that's John Riley. Just to give a couple of shout-outs to our YouTube followers. We've got Hayden Hall has said hi there, so hi back to you, Hayden, and so as Dave Cannon. So numbers are building up on that front, and we've gone over the 100 subscribers as well, which is great to see. Oh, Lockstack taking a great chunk out of the wall again, and he's got a half-second penalty, so that one's all over, isn't it?
Oh yeah, but you know, once again, it is qualifying, so you want to put as much as you can. And if he was trying to improve on where he is, the only place you can improve is first place, so he had to send it.
And someone who's had a little bit of a quiet night so far, and I've just got him on screen with his lovely Rothmans Porsche livery, is Cajun 100, who just popped up into 6th.
Oh yeah, and it looks like he went straight back into the pits. Let's see, who's next? Who's going to be next across the line?
Well, Stormfly has just timed it perfectly in the centre kind of style, because he's just crossed the line with about 8 or 9 seconds left to go. So he's going to be our last one across the line. So I think I'll sit with him for now, unless you shout anything else out to me.
Oh, I gotcha. I'm just going to sit here and try to follow whoever comes across the line. So we got Select coming across next. Let's see. Followed, if I can get to him. Oh, followed by Tamoris. Then, was that Locksec?
Stormfly's looking fairly tidy at the moment.
Oh.
Juno up to 6.
Oh yeah, he improved on his there. Okay, here we go. We got Cajun coming across with Dan behind him.
Stormfly's up by nearly 0.1 at the second split.
Oh, I need to find this. Okay, so we got R80 coming across next. Doesn't look like he's going to improve too much.
Stormfly's...
And then Chili Bass across the line stays.
Stormfly's just going around the hairpin, so it's the blast through those fast sweeping corners. So here we go. Next split coming up. Oh, he's up 0.12. Is that enough? Ooh, I don't think it is, unless he can do something.
It's 0.4 down on Dan.
But can he get to second place? Can he get alongside Dan on the grid? He's around that last corner. How brave is he going to be? Oh, there's Sparks. He did just catch it, but it doesn't seem to have hurt him. He's taking the shortest line to the finishing line. Can he pull it off? Yes, he can.
Yes, he... Oh, 0.080.
8/100ths of a second. Absolutely fantastic stuff.
Oh, that's a great end to qualifying. If that's anything like the race is going to be, I'm ready.
So am I. This is going to be good, and I think there's going to be some curveballs in here with the level of mistake they can make being so fine. And particularly, we've got quite high tyre wear, so I can see there's going to be one or two people caught out that the car just behaves that a little bit differently to what it did the previous lap, and particularly if you've got a bit of understeer, you're just going to slide your way out onto that wall on the exit. I'm not sure where the threshold is for the penalty, for it giving you a penalty for contacting the wall. I'm not quite sure how that works.
I'm sure we're going to find out.
Here we go. So 20-minute race. We're probably going to see 1, maybe 2 pit stops in the short of the 2 races. Fastest guys at the front. We've got Dan on pole, Stormfly second, and Lockstech in third. And then the 2 HKRT drivers, Chili Bass and Timorous, are 4th and 5th. So here we go. Look at quite a full grid. This looks quite a busy grid for quite a tight circuit.
Let's see who gets a good start here.
Oh, Tuno's done a jump start. That's going to cost him dearly, but Dan gets a clean getaway. Chili Bass down the inside by the look of it. He's got a great start there, and he's given Dan some hassle. He's side by side with Dan. Stormfly was the big loser there, and they start to form line astern as they go round the left-hander. Oh no, Stormfly and Lockstep getting a bit hip and shoulders there.
Ooh, they are close as can be going through this first part of the lap.
And it's just going to be that fantastic slipstream battle. And Chili Bass looking to the outside at the hairpin. I think it's a bit brave. He's leaving the door open.
I was telling you earlier. I want to see who will hold it outside here. Chili Bass looks like he's the one that shows he can hold that line, though.
Yeah, but look at the one that gained in there. Lockstep got 2 for the price of 1 there. While they were looking at the outside lane, Lockstep went way down the inside round the hairpin and picked up 2 positions. And it looks like it's hurt Stormfly and Chili Bass coming together there as well. Stormfly's getting beaten up all over the place here tonight.
Whew, they are rubbing, and as they say, if it ain't rubbing, it ain't racing.
Yeah. This ain't NASCAR skis. But it looks
GT
like
Sport.
It looks like Stormfly is struggling on pace here a little bit, because he looks like he's actually driving quite defensively. And he's got the 2 HKRT drivers, and look at that, Noddy's mate down the inside. Where did that come from? Oh no!
Making a move on Dan. Oh, and he couldn't make it stick. Oh, but Noddy's he was doing good during qualifying, just staying right around there in the middle. I love that he's making a move right here.
The pack is just still so tight. Look at that, Noddy's mate with Chili Bass there. Oh, it's just awfully tight. Thankfully,
I don't know where to look.
Thankfully, they haven't seen too many mistakes as yet. I'll just stick with Noddy's mate because that is looking quite feisty. What are you seeing, Skis?
Dan clipped the wall, so he's going to lose a little bit of time to Lockstep coming into this first turn, I think.
Noddy's mate is going on Chili Bass and has got a great slipstream there as they headed across the line into the first left-hander. He's got the move done. Fantastic stuff there from Noddy's mate.
I think we're going to see a move into the hairpin right here.
Who for? Dan?
For the lead.
Yeah, I've jumped to it. So Lockstep's right under the rear wing of the Kit Kat Porsche. It's looking really tight. It does look in the background like Stormfly has made a break from those drivers in 4th, 5th and 6th. And also Noddy's mate has been overtaken again by Chili Bass, unfortunately. But Stormfly does look like he is moving up towards the back of Lockstep.
And now Noddy's mate has used a lot of gas, unless he started low. Because from what I'm looking at, him and R80 have the least amount of gas left.
I believe they all start on half a tank. But Noddy's mate's going for it again. He's back up to 4th. He's hanging in there.
God, he is fighting, and I love it.
And he's gapping them as well. I want to keep an eye forward as well on what's happening with Stormfly Lockstep, because Stormfly does definitely seem to be catching them up. Oh, have you noticed what tyres Dan is using?
He's using super softs.
Ah, okay.
He's not messing around this weekend.
So I think he realised that the pace was quite hot last week, so he did well in that first race, but then jumped to the super softs in the second one.
And also, I think he just wants that little bit more grip around here, because you don't want to slide at all.
And the other one I've just noticed who's gone missing is Chili Bass.
Oh, wow. He's down to 9th. Oh, he's got damage. He's got engine damage, front damage, rear damage. Got damage.
It sounds like an all-round damage as well. So Stormfly is trying to catch these 2 leaders, but I'm not sure he seemed to have closed the gap to a certain amount, but it just seems absolutely flat out here at the front. Can you predict when we're going to get any pit stops there, Skis?
We just got one. I have a feeling we're going to get one from Noddy's coming up. I don't want to say this lap, because I don't think he has much more gas to go. So he's probably going to be going straight into the pits here. Because as we saw, R80 just went into the pit, just came out of the pits. He's on his out lap right now.
Ah, okay.
And they were on similar fuel level. Gosh, that's a tongue twister.
Yeah, that's not a one to have to try after about 5 Budweisers, is it?
Budweiser sucks.
Shows how much we know about Americans tasting beer over here. But just
they love it. A lot of people love it. I just think it sucks.
Well, I think one thing I have learned from the past, the HKRT drivers, they are particularly good with lift and coast. So I think they are showing that tonight, and I think you'll be right that Noddy's mate's going to sweep in, but
it looks like Stormfly might have to too.
Oh, Stormfly's in the pits. Is he going for the undercut?
Stormfly and Noddy's both in the pits. I don't think Stormfly had enough fuel.
Oh, okay. He was forced. His hand was forced.
And so we're going to be seeing pit stops now, but it looks like Select's got probably maybe two more laps on him. Maybe, he's got a lot of fuel.
Well,
so does Timoris, like we were talking about.
Yeah, they're so good at. Well, Chili Bass is. We know Chili Bass was going to pits. He'll be a little bit slow because he's got damage as well, isn't he?
Oh yeah, but they're going to have to fix that, so he's going to be in there for a good while. It looks like that's what they were doing right there.
Unfortunately, he had similar in midweek at the GT4 race. He was doing quite well in the second race. I think he was about third and spun it round and torpedoed it straight into the barrier. So I had to sort of scoop up the bits of his car and pop it back to the pits to fix it. Oh, he's locked
keep an eye down on P7 because Tuano just making a move around the outside on Jan Bold right now, and he was on a flyer. He set his fastest lap so far, so looks like he's found a rhythm.
Lockstex took the lead. I'm just going for the replay. Lockstex took the lead. He look. I'm just on the replay. He looked a long way back as they were coming down for the wider of the two hairpins, and he sort of half looked, and then all of a sudden just launched it. Dan gave him space. And he kept, Locksteck, to be fair, kept it to both apexes. There was no sort of rough and tumble, and Locksteck was through and gone. So whether Dan, as we know, Dan can play the long game here. So, but yeah, that great move. But Dan's coming back at him again as they go down towards the other hairpin.
And this is for position in the pits. They're both going to come out with at the same exact time. So whoever goes in first is going to have position on the way out.
Well, one option could be go for a short fueling. Here we go. They're into the underground car park, which acts as the pits garage in this. Oh, Timorous is as well. Yeah, the underground garage where we've got the pit set up. Timorous has gone in. Dan's nose gone in. So who's going to stay out? Jon Bold's gone in. Oh, Jon Bold's gone through in the lead. So Jon Bold must be stretching the fuel out.
Oh, he's definitely got enough for this one. So he's got to put a flyer here.
But I think, was he about 7th or 8th before?
He was all the way back in 8th.
But I think the one I want to watch, I'm going to hop on board with Stormfly and see as he's coming into that pits hairpin, as I'm going to call it.
Pits.
Stormfly's just exiting the hairpin. Oh, he's just come out in 3rd, so it's all minus 3rd.
Dan lost 4 positions. He came out in 6th.
Now is that a fuel issue? Is he longer fueled?
It looks like he's fueled all the way. That's exactly what it is. But Losec's fueled all the way as well.
Oh, okay. So maybe Dan had a little bit of damage.
Oh, Losec didn't change tires. He's on the same set.
No, you're kidding.
Nope, he stayed on the same set. That's a good move by him.
Do you think? Because we're nearly at half distance.
Oh, yeah, but he really took care of him, it looked like, sitting behind that whole time.
Wow. That would be a complete curveball to what we've seen in the past, because I haven't seen anyone not change tyres, because that tends to be the quicker bit of the pit stop. So he's obviously done that for track position. So Locksteck is de facto our race leader, but looking in the background, Dan is getting racy with Select and
looks like
HKRT.
Select hasn't changed either.
Who hasn't?
Select, it looks like he stayed on the same set as well.
And he's struggling by the look of it, because oh no, sorry, I thought he dropped to the back there. No, Select is holding Dan off and Timorous off at the moment. So he's
been running a smooth strategy.
Yes, but Dan is looking very keen, and as they head for the long stretch down through the tunnel, it looks like Dan has got side by side. Dan's through. Now Timorous is doing the same thing.
Let's see, Jan Bold's in the pits. Where do you think he comes out here? Over or under 5th place?
I think he's going to be 7th or 8th.
I think 6th, so we're on the same path here. Let's see what he does.
But
I don't think he's going to change tires.
Well, it could be a chance others are doing it. So Select got very much shuffled to the back of the 4th, 3rd, 4th, 5th battle there. Jan Bold coming out in 8th. By the look of it.
He might drop even less. He might... Oh, gosh, 9th. 10th. Oh, man, that's... Oh.
That's hurting. That's hurting a lot.
Oh, that was not a good overcut right there.
Oh, Locksteck's just clipped the wall on that last corner.
Stormfly is on him.
So Stormfly is working them, but if he's not changed tyres, I just don't see it's going to work for him.
Oh man, but it looks like he honestly took care of him. I would only be worried about his front. His front left. If he loses his front left, then it's done. So I'm going to keep an eye on that one. But it looks like I'm going to go through and see who else maybe stayed on. No, Notties.
Oh, Locksteck's Locksteck's looking down the inside. He did it before on Dan, but he can't make it stick with Stormfly.
Ooh. And that's such a tricky turn they're going through.
I was looking for the history of...
Oh, Locksteck hit the wall there.
He did clip it, but also Stormfly... you probably shouted it and I wasn't listening. I didn't realise Stormfly had actually slid through and taken the lead there.
Oh, I didn't even realise it either.
So I think they must have done that on that long stretch down to that wider hairpin of the two.
Well, I mean, he has more grip. That's for sure, and he has more grip and less weight. So naturally, but here, looks like Locksteck's taking a peek right here.
He's coming back. He's trying to go around the outside. That's a bit brave on the marbles. That's not really going to work.
Nope. Ooh.
It was worth a look.
I mean, and Dan's lurking.
Yeah, he's coming, isn't he?
Dan is lurking.
Oh, R80's gone to the pits again, so he's going for a two-stopper in this race.
He must have had damage.
Or possibly he was one of the higher fuel usage guys, so maybe this might bring Yombol back into the game a little bit more.
That's a good call. I need to go check in on Naughty. Speaking of our higher, Naughty's looking like he has a pen. He's scrubbing off penalty right there. He's sitting in 6th. He can jump up quick if he wants to.
Yeah, he's doing well there again. He's having a good run out. I know he was a little bit worried about the barriers tonight because it was all so close, and yeah, the error factor is very slim. I just want, while we're on with Locksteck, and hopefully things have settled down for a few seconds as we approach sort of 2/3. No, they haven't settled down because Locksteck's looking to the outside.
Oh, he's squeezing him. Stormfly squeezing him. Oh, that's good race. That's good defensive driving right there by Stormfly.
It is, but it's bringing that Kit Kat Porsche Dan's just that little bit closer, isn't it?
You almost started singing the "Break Me Off a Piece of That Kit Kat" bar. You started doing the rhythm of it. I could hear it.
Yeah, Dan is definitely getting closer, and Timorous is not that far behind either. And to be honest, on that lap, Dan has come in really quickly. Oh,
Timorous is putting on his best lap right now. Oh, Dan making a move. Is he going to get a twofer right here? Oh, he's forcing his way in there, that's for sure.
No, nobody's given a quarter there, are they? Oh, Locksteck's coming back up the inside on the brakes. He's good on the brakes, Locksteck there, isn't he? But he's gone deep.
Driving.
He's on the switchback. Dan's got him.
That's fun. That is good driving right there.
I really want to hop away and see some of the drivers further down, but we've got so much action up the front here, it's really difficult to just
Cajun and Tuono are having a good battle right now.
Okay. Well, I had a really bad night on Wednesday with the commentating. There were 2 good overtakes for the lead, both of which I missed. So I'm so reluctant to look away after that. I was holding my head in shame by the end of the night. I did my usual defence of keep talking and hope nobody notices.
Oh, well, keep your eye on that 2, maybe 3 car battle up at the front. I'll let you know if anything spicy is starting to happen out back.
Okay, well, Stormfly is still holding off Dan at the moment. They're on that long stretch down to the wider hairpin. I'm going to call that container hairpin because there's quite a lot of containers there. And Dan's not hanging around. He got the full bore slipstream there and was straight by even before they got to the braking zone. So Dan's through to the lead. Stormfly second, and they are dropping Locksteck at a rate of knots as well. Oh
yeah, but if they decide to battle, that's going to bring them right back in.
But is because Lockstep didn't change his tyres. Is that going to bring? Now we've got a bit of breathing space. Let's whiz down the
field. Take a drop down to 7th and 8th right here, because there's a good battle going through these chicanes right here. This is one that we want to keep an eye on. It might be for 7th and 8th, but that's for pole next race, ain't it?
No, I think we've still got 11 drivers in the field, haven't we?
Oh yes, you're right.
So, but 2 great liveries there, classic ones, the Rothmans and the Golf livery there.
They've been fighting.
I have eased out the gap a little bit, so I'm going to go back to Timorous in 4th. Now, we know the HKRT drivers can hang their tyres out a lot longer, so I'm wondering if he's going to catch Lockstep, because Lockstep, I think you said that he didn't change his tyres, did he?
At all, and he, like I was talking about that front left, it's starting to take a beating.
So, I'm wondering if Timorous is, we've got just under 4 minutes left. I'm wondering if Timorous is going to be able to catch up to that and snatch that last position on the podium.
He is climbing on him slowly, but oh nope, there it goes. It's going back to Lockstep. It all depends going through the corners if he has more grip than him.
So moving down to 5th, we've got Select, who was up with a rough and tumble there earlier on, but still got a little bit of a gap each side of him at the moment, because down in 6th is Noddy's mate, who shuffled back a little bit through the pit stop phase, and I was a bit worried he could get shuffled out with it because he did pit a lap earlier than the leaders, but he's doing fantastic stuff there. He's currently in 6th, 13 seconds clear of Cajun in 7th. So Noddy's mate having a great night out again in the Porsche.
He is catching Select in parts, so he's not out of a shot for the top 5 here.
No, he's after his performance last week, his driving does seem to suit these Porsches.
Oh, and as you were talking about looking like Timorous was going to catch Lockstep, it looks like Lockstep's creating a gap right now.
Okay. Well, that's one prediction that's not going to quite work out. So in 7th we've got Cajun 100, who had a great run out last week from memory. He was up towards the front, not having quite such a good run this week, but he is gapping Juno behind him in 8th. So he's got a bit of a gap going on there. And then in 9th we've got Chili Bass, who I think you spotted had picked up some damage.
He had earlier. He had pretty bad damage, it looked like, earlier when I was looking. It looked like he had damage on the front left, front bumper, engine, and back rear bumper and back rear right tire.
It was pretty much a write-off then.
Oh yeah, so he's doing what he can right now to get as many points as he can, and but he's the guy that is now going to be able to start on these super softs.
Yeah, but look at the other side. Noddy's mate's just gone to the pits. Yeah, he slotted back out in 8th though, so I'd imagine that was just a quick stop for tyres, no fuel. So he's going to have good tyres for the last lap.
He's got the same tyres.
He didn't change tyres?
Mm-mm.
Oh, he must have made a mistake on the fuel side of it then. So just to pop down to round out the field, we've got Jon Bold in 10th. He went very long on his first stint, didn't he? But it doesn't seem to have worked for him because he's down there in 10th at the moment. I think he shuffled up quite a lot through the pack just by pitting later than anybody else.
Yeah, sometimes overcuts can work, but more often than not they don't, because if they did, everybody would stay out. You know what I mean? Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. And just to round out the field, and probably going to be our pole sitter for race 2, is R80 in the BWT Porsche. So I think he's had a fairly quiet race towards the back there. I think he qualified fairly well down there as well. Oh, okay.
So I think
it's reverse grid from 7th up to 11th. I gotcha.
Yeah. Well, no. The whole field is reverse grid. It's just the first 6 from race 1 have to change to a medium tyre. It's not over at the front. It's not over at the front.
It is not. And there's a battle between 3rd, 4th, and 5th right now.
I'm going to stick with the lead for now. I'll let you look after 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
Timorous, you were right. Timorous and Select, they both overtook Lockstep. What happened? Lockstep has no fuel. He has no fuel. He's not going to finish this lap.
Oh no! Is he going to work with the time? Is he going to work with the time? He's Locksteck's lost out to Timorous.
They're all right at the ends.
Oh, Dan the Stormfly finished. Dan wins, Stormfly second. Timorous is going to make it to the line. Timorous in third. As Locksteck run out of fuel.
Are they both out of fuel? Him and Selector both out of fuel. Oh, Chili Bass is about to be out of fuel. Chili Bass is probably going to have to coast as well, and he's in a battle.
Cajun Hundreds, he comes across the line in 6th. Tuno's come across it in 7th. Chili Bass, as you say...
Is Naughty's going to get him?
Is he going to roll out of fuel?
No. Chili Bass out of fuel!
Oh, he just made it. 8th to Chili Bass, 9th to Noddy's mate, awesome. 10th to Yombold, and finally... R80 comes through in 11th. And he looks like he's almost rolling to the line as well. Oh no, I was looking at the wrong car. I weren't there. So that was exciting. Lights the flag. That one, wasn't it, Skis?
That was absolutely hilarious there at the end. Oh my gosh! I cannot believe how we were worried about tires. We didn't even think about fuel.
But does this reflect the competitiveness of what these guys are up to? Because they're having to push the limit on the fuel to keep those pit stops shorter and just try and risk it that little bit more to make it to the end.
Yeah, I mean, calculated it perfect. I mean, literally, they had no gas when they crossed the line, and that's when they lost it. I mean, that's awesome. It's so much fun to see it when it comes down to that little bit.
I'm just going to be able to tell you about that livery on Locksteck's car. And I'm having to abbreviate what he's written. It's an initiative that they have today. It's the charity Cora has become a holiday and a symbol of goodness in the hearts of people, and it's held every year and is already the 30th edition. And that's why he's racing today in those particular colours.
Well, it's an awesome looking livery. As I said at first, I thought it was a throwback Apple-looking thing, but then I started looking and it looked like it had a meaning in it, so I'm glad you were able to explain that one to me.
So it's I am just looking at their website, and I think I'm going to have to stick with the words that Locksteck provided for us, because there's quite a lot going on there, and I'm fearful that I'm going to pull out the wrong bit and do something horribly wrong to European relationships there, so I will just stick with that brief explanation. Yeah, we potentially got enough trouble in Europe, let alone... So, right, they're just going to have a little bit of a delay while we get all the guys onto... or the top 6, or sorry, onto the medium tyres, because that's the next thing that they're going to have to work out. Just to explain where we are season-wise, this is round 2 of 8, so we have got obviously another 6 to go. Next week we're at another straight track, Saint-Croix B, if that's how you say it. My French was something I failed spectacularly at school, so I do apologise to anybody French who's listening. Then we're off to my favourite track to commentate and to drive on, which is Spa. Then we're back into the UK for Brands Hatch, Germany for the Nürburgring, but that's the GP circuit. And then round 7 is a wet race, which is I think a first for us at Flat Out E-Racing, and we are off to the Red Bull Ring for that one, and then finally off to Japan again for Suzuka. So some great classic tracks there.
So we don't have no Fisherman's Ranch on here?
No, we tend to use the on-road tyre system.
Oh, no. You don't think Porsches belong on dirt?
Well, Porsche 959 was developed as a rally car, I believe.
That's true, but not the 911.
Well, it's like, let's be honest, the Porsche's designers have got the laziest job in the world, haven't they? Since about 1980 something, they haven't designed really anything new. They've just sort of like tweaked what they've got. Oh
yeah, they're ugly. I apologize to anybody who likes Porsches, but they're ugly. I'm just not a fan.
Slick, who I guess is on those medium tyres, he's not getting on with them by the look of it, because he's just at that container hairpin, slid really, really wide. So he's not really getting them in the, not getting them quite in the right way. Hello. So we've got a hello from TND on YouTube. I'm not quite sure. He says hee hee, TV off. Not really understanding what that means. And then finally, Stormfly says you can't improve perfection. But didn't he finish second?
Oh,
No.
well, I guess Dan's perfect. Does he call it Dan perfect?
Well, he's respecting to Dan. So, but let's be honest. If the difference between those two was literally a fraction of a second as they crossed the line, it's really not. Oh, we're getting another comment on YouTube. If the difference between them was just that fraction of a second, I think they're both perfect. Oh, I see. Oh dear, you've upset Stormfly. Skis, you're in trouble.
Well, I didn't know what he was saying.
He's talking about the 911 design. You're in trouble. You're in trouble.
Oh, hey. They're fast. They won Daytona. Doesn't mean they look good.
Oh, no, you're not making it any better. You're not making it any better. So,
hey,
I think
if they had the livery Stormfly has, if they all had that, it would look just fine.
so. TND is he's Lockstack, I believe. I'm still not sure what he means by TV off. Oh,
damn it, Stormfly! I just read that comment.
Yeah, Stormfly's return fire at you. So
you got me there. You got me there. It does look better than a Mustang, so you're good there.
well, we got the other thing is we got these weird things that you're not used to in America called right-hand corners.
Yeah, you know those are weird and long, and but obviously we at least drive on the right side of the road.
Oh, so no, you're going to lose me on that one. You're going to lose me on that one.
I don't understand. Shifting with I've tried to do it, shifting with my left hand. My body's not made for that.
Well,
how you do it.
But it's easier for us, you see, is when we go to America, you obviously can't hire anything that's got an automatic, that's got a manual gearbox.
Really?
I've tried. Admittedly, I've only been to Florida, but you go and everything is automatic. And
well, that makes sense because very few Americans know how to drive. I say that more do than don't, probably, if you have made them drive one, but it's just not a thing here for some reason.
Yeah, it's interesting how different cultures go for different things, isn't it? That we very much obviously drive on the correct side of the road, which is the left, and we have a stick shift, whereas you drive on the wrong side of the road and all have automatics. So,
oh, it looks like TND was actually trying to say before the last lap his TV turned off.
Ah,
that's
okay.
what he was trying to say.
Right, okay, I've got it now. Well spotted. Thank you. I needed someone. It's like when I get a text message from my son, I need someone to translate it.
He has to show you how to zoom in on it.
You got it. You got it. Right, here we go. Race 2, 30 minutes, and the fast guys from Race 1 are on harder tyres. So, and compared to races we've had before, it's going to be more difficult for them to get by. So hopefully, we're going to get some good, clean, fast racing and some great manoeuvres, because I don't think they're going to be able to get quick overtakes here. And we're off. And it looks like everyone's gone.
Let's see what R80 can do with the lead, because he was struggling most of last race and qualifying, so let's see.
Well, it looks like Jon Boulder's got him already. Now, the one I think is going to play the long game here is Dan, because I think he's wise enough to know that it's all going to get a bit punchy, and it already looks like someone's looking a bit scrappy in the midfield there. So, unfortunately, R80's already down to 4th.
Well, they all have to go off of Chili Bass. Chili Bass is the one to look for right here. He's a guy that normally would be starting on those mediums if it wasn't for a wreck he had.
Oh! Well, that was horrible.
Can you pull up a replay on that?
It's still going wrong, so I'm just hanging on. Here we go. I don't know who to be on with, but it was one unholy mess, wasn't it? I thought
Oh
it
my
looked like
gosh.
someone like Lockstech was the one that launched it. Yeah,
I saw
Lockstech was.
Noddy's coming in with Locksec, yeah.
Oh yeah, and Noddy's, and then that was Tuno was round as well, and so Lockstech's at the back, Tuno's back, and the other thing I noticed was as they were leaving the Cajun 100 got spun round as well. So exactly the opposite of what I suggested they should do. But Noddy's mate's there in 6th, but the one who has launched away, as you correctly spotted, is Chili Bass.
I mean, he's on the Super Softs.
And look who's
he gets to do that.
And
So,
look who's second already.
Dan's right there. I mean, I wonder if we... Oh, Tamoris in the pits. As soon as I was going to say, I wonder if we get somebody to lap 1.
Well, we've seen this with some of the HKRT drivers. They do tend to try and jump off those medium tyres as soon as they possibly can, even if it costs them an extra pit stop.
Maybe damage.
Well, it could be. He could have got caught up in that mix as well. Is anybody else towards the back gone in? Yeah, Lockstech's gone for the pits, and so and who?
Locksec didn't have damage, but Tamoris did.
Yeah, Yombold's gone for the pits as well. So, well, I think Chili Bass has got this one cracked at the moment. R80 still hanging on to 3rd, but he's coming under pressure from Noddy's mate. So as they head down towards Container Hairpin, I think Noddy's mate is really keen to have a look. He's getting in the slipstream. No, he's pulling out now. He's pulling out. Select is coming up behind him as well. And in the background, I can see the yellow of Stormfly. So R80's going defensive.
Here goes Noddy's.
Oh, no!
Oh!
Select
in the wall.
Yeah, he collected the back of... Select is in 6th at the moment. We're just going to go for a replay on that one. Maybe a bit of a risk. I'll just have a quick look because I was watching him there. Let's go on board, see what happens. He comes up board.
Noddy's and R80 with penalties.
Is that for connection with the wall?
I believe so.
So the other one that gained in that little instant for Select there was Stormfly because he came through. So Noddy's mate down to 5th.
What's going on with Stormfly? I can't. There it is. I couldn't switch to him for a second.
Yeah. Well, he's whizzed by. Presumably that was because of the penalties for R80 and Noddy's mate. Stormfly swept through past the pair of them. Oh, Stormfly into the pits.
Oh, yeah, I thought he just went deep for a second, so I'm glad you said that because I was about to say Stormfly went deep.
And Select's in the pits as well.
So Noddy's taking over 4th and looks like he's going to hunt down R80 right here.
So they're coming back to the battle. Chili Bass looks quite comfortable out front at the moment, I think. That gap is about 1 point.
Did Noddy's just go purple? I'm going to stay on with Noddy's because he might have just gone purple.
Okay, I'll leave you with him. We're only 4 minutes into this second race, so we've had quite a lot of action already. So looking at the gap for the lead, it looks like Chili Bass is actually gapping down.
It must have been when Chili Bass went purple.
So it looks like Selector's just come back out of the pits. So R80 3rd, Noddy's mate 4th, and just trying to see anything we've got likely to develop.
Oh, Cajun is damage. So does Tuano.
But I don't think they've pitted yet, have they? So they're not. It's not compromising them anything at the moment.
We'll see. Tuano's looks like it must have just happened because it looks bad. Tuano's does at least.
So
maybe it'll go.
Well, they've spread out so much already. Tuano in 5th is already 17 seconds off the lead. So that's a big field spread already, considering we've only had 5 minutes of the race.
Well, Chili Bass 3/10 up on his already purple time.
Well, no, he's pulling away from Dan at quite a rate of knots. Now, of course, the thing we've got to bear in mind is Chili Bass is on the super softs, isn't he? And Dan is on the mediums at the moment.
Well, I think Chili Bass going straight into the pits.
You're right, he is. He's just gone straight into the pits. Now, does that mean Dan is going to have to go as well? No, Dan is staying out.
Dan has another lap in him right here, so he can go and put on a flyer. He has clear air for days now.
He has, but he's got those mediums, so he just didn't seem to be able to keep up with Chili Bass. So I still don't think he's going to come out in front of Chili Bass after even if he puts a stunner in. because he was 2.5 seconds down, and I don't think, unless Chili Bass has got damage that's going to hold up his pit stop, I don't see Dan being able to jump out in front.
Well, I will say, I'm excited to see he finished in last for the last race, but R80's seeming to hold his own on this one.
And he's not having to jump in for fuel or anything like that. I've just jumped onto him. So,
yeah, he's got one more lap, and I think he can keep these tires on if he wants.
I'm not. How much time does the pit stop add with a tyre change? Because I always thought it was fairly quick, and what you would gain in fresher rubber, you more than counteracted the extra time in the pits.
It's about 5 seconds, so it all depends.
So
I believe it's about 5 seconds.
But over the rest of the lap, that's still, you know, you haven't got to be a lot quicker per lap to get that back, have you?
Oh yeah, it all depends though, because if the track's not having too much tire deg, then they can run these for, especially with this one, because they're probably going to have to pit more than once.
Oh, unfortunately, R8 he's just picked the penalty up.
Ooh.
He cut that. One of the few places on this circuit where you can actually cut it, where you come out a container hairpin and just take that chicane a little bit sharper than what you should do. So we should be at a point where we're going to see whether Dan is going to come out. Well, Chili Bass is... Oh, of course Chili Bass is behind, because Dan's got the pit, hasn't he?
Yep. So he's Dan, a good, that 32 seconds behind R80.
Okay.
And he's 38 behind Dan, so you lose about, that looks like 38 seconds in the pits. So Dan's in the pits, and so is R80. Is R80 in first? Oh, it must be. He's in the pit ahead of Dan. That's what it is.
That's it. It's just where his pit garage is. So I'm on with Chili Bass as he's hurtling down towards where the pit garage is. This is a bit confusing on this track, isn't it? Because the pit garage is in a different place to where the start-finish line is.
It's halfway around the track. Almost. It's weird.
So here we go, Chili Bass just coming into the hairpin. I'm not seeing these guys coming out of the pits as yet. Chili Bass takes the lead as he comes past pit exit. So Stormfly takes second. No, it's showing Dan in second.
4 second gap to Dan, it looks like.
Yeah, but look at Dan and Stormfly, absolutely bumper to bumper. Stormfly's just had to shed a penalty, which is why he's just eased off a little bit.
And Naughty's mate sitting there in fifth. He's just been there in both races.
He's just loving this Porsche, isn't he? Even with these really tricky conditions.
It's a car that if you can learn to drive it, you could fly. It's a very tricky car.
So I was just saying, I was trying to work out what was going on. I think it was just catching itself up on positions there. It was suggesting that I think that Stormfly had overtaken Dan, but I don't think that was the case. So we've got Chili Bass has had the super softs from the start, and he has pitted, hasn't he? So he's on fresh rubber. So they're all on the same kind of rubber now, so it's really just down to speed and fuel saving from now to the end of the race. Oh, Stormfly's gone deep.
They can make it to the end.
Stormfly went really, really deep at the pits. Oh, sorry, that was container hairpin. And he was all over the place. The back end was twitching all over, and he lost a big amount of time there. And for his benefit, he got a penalty as well. So Noddy's mate, as you mentioned, is a man on the charge, and he's on Timorous' case. Now, is Timorous still on the mediums? No,
he stayed on the super softs.
Okay, because I
think we have everybody on super softs now.
But Noddy's mate is really, really racy. Now, I think he's using more fuel than Timorous, but he's definitely using it to his advantage. So as we head down towards the pits hairpin, it looks like Timorous is getting quite sort of weavy on his defence, but Noddy's mate's looking to the inside.
Oh, that's smart. He could have. It was smart of him not to lunge for that position there.
Well, they both went a bit deep there, didn't they?
Oh yeah, Naughty's could have honestly jumped in and forced him a little deeper if he had wanted to, but they got plenty of time, and he's right there, so he's going to have plenty of more chances if he stays with them.
And battle for 6th and 7th, R80 is fending off Lockstech at the moment, who was up there, as we know, in race 1, so the reverse grid has not done him any favours in race 2, but then he was in that big accident at the first hairpin. So he's working his way back up, but he's all over the back of R80 at the moment. I think he's about to make a move as they head across the start-finish line. They're side by
Chili
side.
Bass is untouchable this race.
Oh, Lockstec went deep, clipped the barrier, but seems to have got away with it.
So we got a nice little spread going on here.
Yeah, but we don't like spreads.
Too many fights.
We want fights, but this battle for 6th and 7th looks like 4th and 5th have got a little bit of a battle going on as well. Lockstec down the inside there. It looks like he's got the move done. Yeah. So Lockstec in 6th, R80 in 7th. Now it looks like Lockstec is now after. Oh, who got the penalty there? I think it was. Oh, the R80 got a penalty there. So unfortunately, that's the fait accompli on that manoeuvre for Lockstec, because R80 is going to have to drop off and let that one go. So I think the next one under attack, I think, is Noddy's Mate by Lockstec.
Oh yeah, I mean, and Noddy's Mate's hunting down to Morris too, so could be a twofer for Lockstec.
It could be, but do we think there's anything going to shuffle out? Oh, hang on, we've just got Noddy's Mate on Timorous. I think it's Noddy's Mate's going to be on the outside for the hairpin, so unless Timorous outbreaks himself, I don't think he's going to get done. No, he isn't. So Timorous hangs on to 4th, Noddy's Mate in 5th. Do we think there's any shuffle coming up in the front three due to field strategy that's going to sort of raise its head later on?
It looks like, I honestly think Chili Bass is going to have to pit. He has half a tank left.
But does that mean Dan and Stormfly are going to be able to go to the end?
I don't know. They're about a quarter of a tank difference, but Stormfly definitely is going to have to pit. Stormfly has the least amount of gas out of anybody other than, let's see, who was that had about none other than Lockstec has none.
Oh. He's going to have to
pit in the next 2 laps.
So what we might have there is a guide, very loosely. If Lockstec pitted at the end of the first lap, that suggests you've got somewhere around about 13-14 minutes of fuel. So at the moment it looks like none of these guys are going to be able to make it to the end. As Noddy's Mates, unfortunately, Lockstec's got that 5th position from Noddy's Mate and doesn't seem to be letting it go. And I thought you said Lockstec was quite low on fuel, wasn't he?
Yes.
So Lockstec
looks like he's going to have to pit.
So Lockstec's in front of Noddy's Mate now, but he's obviously having to gas it absolutely flat out because he knows he's going to have to stop. So it could be, is it going to be the amount of fuel they're going to have to put in means that Dan is going to have a shorter stop, and is that going to give him the leap over Chili Bass maybe?
Oh, there you are. I lost you for a little bit there.
Ah, sorry. I was going to say, is it a thing with strategy that Dan is going to have a shorter stop than Chili Bass because he's going to pit later? Oh.
Network disconnection. Did you get that too?
No, I'm still in. We're still producing. It says you've left the room, Skis, so I'll wait for you to hop back in.
I'm trying. I got my eye on the stream though, so we're good at least.
Sup shorties. What on earth does sup shorties mean?
Shouties.
Shouties.
Shouties. Yeah, shorties, but shouties.
Two countries split by a common language.
That's a great way to put it.
So looking, just popping back up the front, Chili Bass has now got a 5-second lead over Dan, and the impression I'm getting, he's stretching it. So unless Dan has got something miraculous, I don't think, like you say, he's got half a tank. I don't think that's going to get him to the end. But as you say, Chili Bass has got a quarter of a tank, so it's how long does it take to fuel quarter of a tank? And of course the other thing is Chili Bass going to change tyres? Because if Dan decides not to change tyres and shorter fuels, that might just give him enough to leap up to Chili Bass maybe.
I mean, we're going to see it. I'm back in now, so everything's all good. Did Losec he pitted, so okay. And he came out in 2nd.
What? Sorry, Lockstec or Dan?
Lockstec.
Yeah. He's not in 2nd. He's a lot further down. Hang on. Lockstec is in 10th.
Oh, wow. Okay, what is going on with this? How much time remaining is it showing you?
It's showing me 14 minutes and 8 seconds.
Yeah, that's what it's showing me, too. Huh.
Maybe it'll catch up as it goes round. But Chili Bass is keeping that gap for about 5 seconds. So I think we're fairly safe on that one at the moment, for at least until Chili Bass has to pit. And you said, oh, Select's gone for the pits as well. But you said Stormfly was quite low on his field as well. So this may play out for Dan. We're over half distance now.
Yeah, it's showing me Tuano in second, Low second, third. I have no idea why.
Tuano's down in 8th at the moment.
There we go. It fixed itself now. Chili Bass in first. Dan in second.
That's it. Yeah, you didn't have to do the ultimate and Control Alt Delete then.
Yeah, no, thank God. Just with the PlayStation.
Ah, that's right. Yeah, and the Chili Bass, he's driving out of his skin at the moment. He's got that gap well over 5 seconds now. So.
Oh yeah. It looks like we got a comment in the chat too. Hayden Hall says, "What up?" Says, "Hey everyone." Actually.
Hey Hayden. Oh, that's a bit like the one you had earlier. You trip over yourself. Yeah. So here we go. So Dan's in second. He's keeping Stormfly on us by about 4 seconds.
Oh man, and Notties has him a little battle coming from R80 behind, and he's trying to catch Kimorris up front.
Nolly's mate's driving really well. I'm really impressed. But I said, R80's coming at him from behind, so these guys are fairly level. The one who's
does
not.
Chili Bass go to the pits here? He can maybe go another lap, but does he risk it, or does he go straight to the pits here?
I think he's going to stretch it as long as possible, because he knows Dan is going to be able to do a shorter stop.
He's in the pits.
Well, I got that one wrong.
And Dan's still on the mediums.
He didn't change tyres, did he? So
my dog has come in with a leaf attached to her face and will not let me take it off her.
Okay, that's words that have never been issued in the commentary box before, I believe. So I know it's a bit out of sync, but this has put Noddy's mate up to second and R80 up to third at the moment. And they're already past the pits and gone. So it does look like R80 is closing in there on Noddy's mate.
And it looks like Dan is definitely going to have to go to the pits. So he has to extend it right here, and he just put a best lap of the race in.
But I'm surprised he didn't get off those mediums at his first stop. Maybe that was a track position thing of keeping hold of them, and then he'll go for super softs on the last stint.
Well, yeah, because if you know, running 2 sets of tires can be quicker than running 3 sets, because it takes a little bit of time to put those on, depending on how much degradation you got. But it looks like he's getting close to the time where he'll start losing.
But look at the losing. I think Noddy's mate is about to lose second place, because R80 is looking quite racy as they head down towards container hairpin. R80 is looking to the inside. It looks like he's got it on the brakes. Noddy's mate gives him space.
Noddy's tires are gone.
Yeah, I think you could say that he ran a little bit wide and he just kept going, but he slotted in really close behind R80, so it's not impossible he can do something from there, but they may well be jumping to the pits fairly soon. If not, Phil,
it looks like Dan's going to have to either go in this lap or next lap.
Well, Stormfly's been and gone in the pits, hasn't he? So that's all their final pit stops completed, apart from Dan. So Dan is the one that will be quite interesting.
Oh yeah, Noddy's and R80 are also going to have to pit here soon.
Well, they're not giving up. They want to be first into the pits because they are wheel to wheel as they come up to pits hairpin. Noddy's mate looking to go down the inside. He's got it done. He's got it done into.
Oh! I love it. I love the racing. It's all about time.
It was like trying to run through the front door of the next sale, wasn't it? When the doors opened after Christmas, they just went in there side by side. So
now let's
Dan
see
is
Chili
in there.
Bass how much of a gap he can get right here.
I'm going to sit on with Dan.
Here he goes around the turn.
I was going to hop it. It looks like Dan had just dropped off his jacks and he's coming out. So Dan
change super softs?
Dan's on super softs. So this one's going to come to the boil. I think this one's coming to the boil. And it's interesting. Dan pulled about 2 seconds off Chili Bass there. Now, that must have been just down to taking shorter amount of fuel. That's the only thing I could...
The overcut. He had a better tire and he went for the overcut. So I got proven wrong already.
Well, we'll get the hang of this eventually. So,
if I was right all the time, I'd be rich.
Exactly, and we'd be doing something else. So let's keep an eye on that gap. It's 3.2 at the moment. So let's give Dan a lap to settle those tyres in. I think the one that this has shuffled out of the battle at the moment is Stormfly, because he's 7 seconds adrift of Dan, and he had to pit a little earlier, so he's going to have a bit more wear on his tyres. So I think Stormfly's a bit settled out there. They are rather unusually all settled out tonight, aren't they? In almost sort of like an organised order. But apart from 6th and 7th, we got a race on. Oh
yeah, I mean. And it only takes one clip against the wall for something to start. Oh, 5th! We got a battle. We got a battle right here. Lock second to Morris.
Well, we just as Select was being defensive. Was being aggressive on the back of R80, but R80 was quite defensive with his driving and kept him away. Lockstep in the wall. He's really wanting that 4th place off Timorous, isn't he?
Oh, let's see if he can get it, though. They got 7 minutes left, so what's that going to be, about 3 laps?
Oh, a little bit more. There's about
3 or 4 laps left.
So it just depends where they cross that line, because of that slightly odd finishing setup for GT Sport. So Lockstep trying to go to the outside. He's on that curve. No, he's gone way too deep there. No, he's not going to make that one work. I'm just going to hop back to R80 and Select, because that one's even closer, and Noddy's mate's lurking in the background there as well. Noddy's mate, it didn't really work out for him through that second pit stop, did it? He's dropped that down there to 8th. He fell behind R80 by about...
Well, he does have a fresh set of tires now, so he can push, and that's plenty of time, especially on a track like this, where milliseconds are, and hundredths and even seconds are gained just by having the right line.
But look, R80 took a big bite out of that wall on the last corner, which is the one you mentioned earlier, is the one that you just tried out a little bit harder, and you think it's quite open, but it isn't.
I mean, and there's so many of them like that in here, and especially with the elevation changes, and plus you got to remember, this is a street track, so like you're driving on a different material than if you were driving on a racetrack.
Yeah,
so it's going to be naturally a bit more slide.
Yeah, it hasn't rubbed it in. R80 going defensive again at container hairpin, and Noddy's mate looking for an opportunistic move down the inside Select, but can't get it done. But he's right on the back of this battle now for 6th, 7th, and 8th.
And it looks like last second to Morris they're just following each other right now. But it looks like up at the front we still got a gap. Dan slowly closing in, but we still got a 1.5 second gap.
1.5. It was 3.2 a couple of laps ago.
Oh yeah, no, it's 1.549. Oh, 1.343.
Okay, well when it goes under a second, we'll hop to that. But R80's coming under pressure here from Select. He's heading up towards Pitt's hairpin, and I think he's going to go defensive again. Yes, he is. So he's forcing Select to go the long way around. And that hasn't worked for Select last time, and brought Noddy's mate into play. Noddy's mate does seem quite good on the brakes. They're coming out line the stern. It looks like...
Ooh. Trying to keep an eye on anything. I just got down to what you were watching. I'm trying to keep an eye on everything. So I'm looking at the timings, and I just got down to where you were.
So I don't have another Wednesday night failure. Dan and Chili Bass is the one that's likely to bubble over, isn't it? At the moment I'm keeping an eye on 6th, 7th and 8th, and the one that does looks like he's getting pressure now is Select off Noddy's mate.
Oh yeah, and it's under 1.5 seconds now for Dan up to Chili Bass.
Okay, well he's got 4 minutes, so I think we're about 3 laps from now, so they are... Well, they might even get 4 in if they cross the line in time. So
and Dan is slightly heavier in the car too. He has slightly more gas.
I think possibly Dan uses a little bit more fuel. HKRT drivers, we know, are very good on their fuel usage, and that may be the compromise he got. R8 is going defensive again. Into
it's under a second. It's under a second.
Okay, I'm coming. Keep me posted, because I'm going to stick with this one for now, because it's tight as well. Because Select is getting onto the back of Noddy's mate. Sorry, Noddy's mate is getting on the back of Select. It's just really, really tight between these three. Oh, Noddy's mate.
Keep an eye on him.
Yeah,
I'll let you know after the hairpin.
Yeah, Noddy's mate just took a great bite out of the wall there, which has dropped him a little bit off the back of this battle. It does seem to have suddenly settled out a little bit here. R80 has gapped Select. It doesn't sound a lot by 0.6 of a second, but I think Select is likely to come back at him.
Well, Chili Bass is just taking it back over a second there.
Ah, okay.
Seems to be a little bit quicker through that hairpin.
So I'll keep an eye when they roughly cross the line, because... Are they coming around the last corner now? Yeah, I can see them. So, yeah, I think they are going to get possibly... Because it's a 1 minute 30 lap, isn't it, roughly?
So we got... It's a 2 minute lap, my bad. So it's a 2 minute lap. So
2 minute lap. We've got 2 laps.
2 more laps.
So, Noddy's mates dropped off this battle at the moment for 5th, 6th and 7th, so it's just down to R80 and Select. But I think I'm going to jump with you with... Oh no, let's just go one more run down to Container Hairpin, because Select... Oh, see, my Wednesday night curse was going to go for it.
Yep.
Yeah, Select got a good run through the last corner, and then just got the inside into turn 1. So I don't know if R80's got anything to come back with. But that was exactly my curse of Tuesday night. As soon as I looked away from anything, there was a position change.
R8's got it down to about half a second.
Okay, I'm just going to follow him through. R8's just trying to go down the inside.
He's got slipstream going into the straight.
Okay, I've jumped to it. R80 couldn't get back by Select, so I've left that battle for 5th. I will try and keep one of my eyes on it as they work their way back round the circuit. But Dan, here we go, is looking quite racy as we come up the pits hairpin, but he's on the wrong side of the track. What do you think?
Oh, they're touching.
Has he got it on the switchback? He's got the switchback. Dan, can he get the power down?
Does he have the speed?
Oh, they're side by side. They're trying to give each other space, but it's really, really tight.
Oh, neither of them's yielding.
And then we're into this really fast sweeping section. The Dan was just on the perfect side of the track to take the high ground there.
And so we're going to have a shootout going into this last lap, if Chili Bass could stay with him.
I don't think he can, because he caught him so quickly. He had that 3.2 second gap after the pit stops.
Oh yeah, but it all depends on the straightaways. If he has slipstream on the straightaways, there's always a chance.
I do. One thing that's caught my eye every lap is the poor bloke on the flag gantry at the finishing line has been holding the checkered flag since lap 1. He's a man, if not prepared, I must say, but he's going to be able to have a go with it in about 50 odd seconds time. So
he knows his job.
So I think we are probably on the last lap now. So I think Dan has probably timed that to perfection. I'm just going to risk hopping back to 5th, 6th and 7th. Now Select has got that move done, but in 6th is R80, and he's starting to come under a bit of pressure from Noddy's mate, so I don't think that battle for 6th is quite over yet. And these two guys are both...
Man, nothing's over on this track until in the words of my father, it ain't over until the fat lady sings.
That's the one.
And so,
but they both
look out for.
They both went deep at Container Hairpin, and R80's hanging on to that one. So Noddy's mate's last chance is probably going to be at Container Hairpin, at Pit's Hairpin, because this is going to be the last lap. Time is out. This is the final lap. Let's just risk hopping back, because Chili Bass is right on the back of Dan, and they've only got those fast sweepers left to go. Whether Chili Bass can pull off the impossible through here, I just don't see there's anywhere, because of the speed of these corners, where Chili Bass can pull anything off through here.
He's going to have to send it. That's the only way.
But there's no heavy braking zones to be able to do it, is there?
He's going to have to, it's over. That's it right there.
Here we go, up to the finish line. Is the man eventually going to wave his flag? That's what I want to know. Yes, he is.
You know he is.
Yes, he is. Dan in first, Chili Bass in second. Bit of a quiet race there for our Stormfly. He's come through in third.
Yeah. And a quiet finish unless Notties can catch R80 right here at the end.
Yeah, Timorous coming across the line in fourth. And
there he goes. Notties in the wall. He was going for it.
Yeah, I don't blame it. It was worth going. Oh, and R80 was catching the ball there as well. So Slek going across the line there in fifth, R80 in sixth, Noddy's mate in seventh. So coming up to the line now in eighth is Cajun 100. Tuno's already crossed the line on the previous lap. And finally, taking a great bite out of the Armco there was Lockstep. I'm imagining he hasn't got much in the tyre department. No, he hasn't.
There's no
and
chance.
He's out,
He doesn't
out
have
of field
much
as
in the
well.
fuel department either.
Well played there, Lockstep. You really got value for money out of your tyres and your fuel. You left nothing on the table.
Using gravity to his advantage there.
Yeah, nothing on the table whatsoever. So yeah, great win there for Dan. Started at the back, worked his way forward, so certainly not done himself any harm there at all with his championship aspirations. So just to remind you what we've got coming up, Wednesday night 8 PM UK we have our GT4 Asia Championship. So that's all cars from the Far East, and we will be racing at the very same circuit. So the drivers from Sunday night DTM will have got their eye in, so that will be a great one to log on and watch. So please click those subscribe buttons so you get reminders, and click the like button as well, is always appreciated. And then we will be back again with myself and Skis next Sunday for St. Croix B, and another street track, Skis.
Oh, I mean, so anything at St. Croix is going to be insane. It's just a weird. I mean, it's just a weird track. I hope we get to go over the bridge.
The long straight bridge. Usually with a sharp left at the far end from memory.
Or sharp right, or a long right-hander, depending.
Depends which way we're going. Yeah, good point, good point. Well, we will find that one out next Sunday. So we hope you come along and see us. And then we've had a great night racing. We've seen on a track where we were worried there would be a few more incidents. We did have a little bit of a pile up at the beginning of race 2, but everyone basically got away with it in one way, shape or form, and we got ourselves some great racing. So anything more for a wrap up there, Skis?
No, that was, the first race was everything we could hope for. Second race was, pretty close, pretty easy, open and shut. But next week, anything can happen. I'm excited to see some more good racing.
That's brilliant. So in the meantime, everyone stay safe, and it's goodbye from me.
And y'all have a blessed one.